My name is Cade Martino. Today I'm going to be discussing the music video Paint the Town Red, created by Doja Cat. This was posted on August 3rd, 2023. And this presentation is for my final project for English 364 with Professor Harrison. So moving right into it, the video has much satanic imagery as well as allusions to the Illuminati. The Illuminati have been associated with musicians for a long time. The sort of secret service has been around for hundreds of years. First began in Germany. We can see the representation of the Illuminati through the image of the eye that Doja Cat takes out of her own head at the beginning of the music video. And we'll talk a little bit more about the eye and what it represents for this video later on in the presentation. The more obvious satanic imagery comes in the form of the devil here in the bottom right picture. We can see with one horn as well as Doja Cat with both horns. We also have this large devil creature that Doja Cat is riding on in this top right image, as well as these two sort of hanging egg sacs. These will also come into play later on in the presentation, more specifically when they are shown in this scene here. They become a sort of representation of Doja Cat's career. And then here on the left, we have Doja Cat standing next to a Grim Reaper looking figure, where Doja Cat is dressed in all red, sort of reminiscent of maybe a devil Halloween costume, full with red contact lenses to really push that message forward. Moving on, we're going to look at some of the lyrics in Doja Cat's song and what they mean in the context of the Freudian Psychoanalytic. First, we have, I said what I said, I'd rather be famous instead. This is what the song opens with, after hearing the sample from Dionne Warwick, Walk On By. This line is significant because many of her fans made up a sort of theory regarding religious ideals, stating that Doja Cat has sold her soul to the devil in order to become famous. This is due to a lot of the satanic imagery that we're going to be talking about in this video, and some of it is also present in some of her early music videos, showing maybe gruesome scenes or devilish looking creatures, as well as the way that Doja Cat sort of presents herself in these videos. The image behind is reminiscent of some of the most early films, one of the most famous being Haxan, which is a German expressionist film of the silent era that tells the history of witchcraft and sort of Satanism. It's very creepy to watch. It's certainly not the most frightening film you'll ever see, considering its age, but for its time, I'm sure it was very terrifying. Moving on to number 2, right after the chorus, she states, "She the devil," and then at the end of the second line, "She a rebel." So again, it's Doja Cat sort of pointing her finger and laughing at the more extremist fans that state that she would sell her soul to the devil and they don't really want to associate herself with her music, or specifically her music videos, because of all the satanic imagery and the maybe sinful manner in which she presents herself in these music videos, being intimate with a devil-like figure adorned with horns and full body paint. And the third verse, we have, "Fans ain't dumb, but extremists are. I'm a demon lord." So the second one, we can obviously see the satanic influence, her stating that she is a demon lord. Again, sort of poking fun at these fans who have made this theory that she has sold her soul to the devil, or she worships Satan, or is a member of the Illuminati. And then the more important one is, "Fans ain't dumb, but extremists are," stating that, she doesn't hate all her fans. She doesn't think that they are dumb, but she thinks that extremists are dumb. These are the sort of people who make up these rumors that she has sold her soul to the devil, that they don't want to associate with herself because she freaks them out. Okay, moving on to some of the Freudian psychoanalysis. I pulled this from Stories, Culture, Theory, and Popular Culture textbook. The first quote is, Freud is absolutely clear about the impossibility of interpreting a dream unless one has the dreamer's associations to it at one's disposal. So again, looking back at the image of the eye, here in the bottom, we see Doja Cat reaching into the glass and putting her eye back in her head. And in the beginning of the video, we see her take it out of her head. And as she sets it down, we watch it roll, and then it falls off the table, and the viewers can assume that the eye is supposed to be our representation of our journey into Doja Cat's mind or her dreams. And so we have these associations with Doja Cat that maybe she is satanic or involved in the Illuminati, but again, this is just an interpretation. It's impossible to really know what Doja Cat was thinking or the meaning behind it, as we can't literally enter her mind as it is suggested in the music video. And the second quote that Story quotes is, the first approach is author-centered, treating the text as equivalent to an author's dream. So I think this one really relates to Doja Cat's video, as we are simply entering her mind and seeing what she sees in her unconscious mind and seeing how she views herself, possibly due to the associations that have been made about her with Satan and the sort of satanic panic of the 2020s. So moving forward to some of these images. First one, on the top left, we have Doja Cat cutting this sort of umbilical cord, and inside this little egg sac that hits the floor, we see a cat-looking creature, sort of like a fetus, and this is supposed to be a representation of her cutting herself off from these toxic fans that want her to remain in the same space in the music industry and make the same type of music because it's a little bit safer, it's a little less maybe offensive to some people, and so she wants to really call attention to the fact that she is done with that and she wants to move on and create her own agency. And the next on the top right is similar in meaning. The red meat is supposed to represent the death of that previous era of her music, one of her most famous songs being Moo. So here we can see on this cart, she has a bunch of beef and she's basically smelling it, and she has a sort of look of disgust on her face. And she's basically, it's almost like she's giving it out for free or letting people kind of have at it. And this is supposed to be representational of her just giving that up. That music is still there for people to enjoy, but it doesn't mean she has to embody it for her entire career. And then finally, we have that symbol of the eye once again as she puts it back in her head, and we see this bloody figure, Doja Cat covered in blood, as the video comes to a close. So all these images really reveal a lot about Doja Cat's meaning for the Paint the Town Red music video. We have this cutting off of her previous era of music, and as well as the cutting off of her fans that are extremists and don't want to associate with themselves with her due to her wanting to be more experimental with her music videos, and maybe have some sort of satanic imagery, as well as the Freudian idea with the eye that we're entering into the unconscious mind of Doja Cat and understanding how she is viewing things and how she wants people to see her and how she wants to portray herself as an artist in the music industry. And here we just have my works cited. I have the Doja Cat music video here from YouTube, as well as John Story's Critical Theory and Popular Culture textbook. All right, that's going to wrap things up. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and I hope you have a great day.